Yeah, so with the shifts that you're talking about and with your business, what you're working on and things you're doing now, what are some things you totally felt like you've had to rewire or like change your whole mindset about how you approach business?
Yes, I loved that question when I read it. So I think everybody starts their business thinking this is what's going to work. This is what's going to be successful. These are the things that my audience is they're going to love this. This is what it's going to be, and that is just not. That was absolutely not the case for me. So, in a really good way. But I started my business by strategically picking 4 people to give discounted websites to in return for me being able to sell them as templates evergreen. And so I'm thinking I'm starting this passive income and that this is going to be the way that my business is going to work. And I think I've sold like 3 templates, like ever. And really what it did is it turned into a referral network for me that built a hugely more successful business than I ever could have imagined. So I think the ability to rewire that what you think is going to be the thing. I am far better at big dollar sale than I am at 100 templates. And I had to learn that. So
Welcome to the Analytical Rewired, the best place to discuss various obstacles, limitations, challenges, behaviors, and how to overcome them in business. We deep dive into the complexities of people, processes, data, and technology, PPDT, adopting our focus to be either technical or creative expressions, and how to balance the two. The Analytical Rewired is brought to you by the MJW Group, a performance improvement and leadership development boutique management consulting firm that helps companies save time and money leveraging operational excellence. Our mission is to enable your organization to be more successful by refining overarching strategies into detailed plans to be implemented, generate creative and technical solutions for your operational challenges, augment and supplement your existing teams, and help you create processes that allow you to be more efficient with the resources you have. You can learn more about the MJW Group on our website at themjwgrp.com. Welcome to the Analytical Rewired. I'm your host, Jennifer White, CEO of the MJW Group. And I have my co-host with me today, Sarah Ashley. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We're kicking off. I know, kicking off 2023. And yeah, it's been an awesome ride so far. I'm hoping this year doesn't fly by as fast as last year because I was like, how I don't even know how we got here.
I know, same.
So yeah, we're excited today for our guest, Corrie. Is it Fell or
Huggins
Feeble?
is my married last name. So Fuel
Okay.
was my
That's
was my
what
name.
I thought. I was like, why am I
Yep.
saying your okay, Corrie Huggins.
I've had this Zoom account since before I was married. That's the trick. So
Okay. That's your story. Okay. All right, got it. Corrie Huggins is here with us today, and I've known her for a couple of years, so I'm gonna just dive right on in here. We talk about all things left brain, right brain, right? What makes you tick? What makes your creative side flow, and what makes your analytical and technical side flow? And Corrie is a mixture of both. Like I've seen her. I've seen her develop her business and implement it from bare bones. But she also has a creative mindset as well. So I don't know, which one are you more, left brain or right brain? We'll see.
So I think I would always say I was more creative. But then when I started my own business, I think it became pretty clear to me that might not actually be true. So I might be a 50-50 split, but I was better at business than I ever expected. That just it's extremely natural. And so I mean it means obviously I've got more of that technical side than I would have originally claimed.
Awesome. So Corrie, why don't you kick off with introducing yourself and letting the audience know what you do?
All right. My name is Corrie. I own Corrie Huggins Creative, and it is really a dual business. I started in 2020, and so obviously that meant you're not out and about. I have a career in photography, but I've always been in-house creative director in every business I've worked in since college, and so I started my business there with web development, brand strategy, and brand identity. And that's definitely an area where I've always thrived. And so that is one side of my business. And then the other side is commercial and brand photography. So those are the big things that I do, and I get to do something different every day. And that is, I think, the highlight of what my business is.
Well, good. Yeah, like I said, I met Corrie, I think, oh my God, almost 5 years now. I think it was in 2018.
Yeah, I think you're right. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I was part of this female entrepreneur group, and I met Corrie at a dinner, and she took my photo. I still have that photo. I'm gonna share it with Sarah. And so it was black and white photo, and I didn't even know you took it. I was like, what? But it came out like so natural and so professional and great. And I was like, oh my God, like I love this picture. But yeah, we've known each other for a long time. And as I mentioned earlier, I've seen Corrie take her ideas and everything she was doing while she was working for others and just totally catapult herself. I think I saw your post actually today where you were giving like a recap of your last year. And I was like, that's a lot. You've been busy.
Yeah, I didn't realize it. It was probably, I don't know, sometime in October. And I was like, I wonder how many photo sessions I've done this year. And I started counting and I got to 200. And I was like,
holy moly.
My God.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It did not feel like 200. That was
that's a lot.
so it was a lot.
She's been busy.
That's fun because we were a part of that.
Yeah. Yes, you were.
Yeah, we were
I love those pictures.
One of 200. There you go.
Well, we were one of 200.
It was a good one, though.
It was a good one. It was fun. I liked a lot of those. They're all over our website if you have not seen them.
I have.
Yeah.
Even on the form for today.
I love it.
Yeah, everyone loves our new photos. So thank you, Corrie. Like you captured the brand essence of the MJW Group like wholeheartedly, and we can't thank you enough for that.
I loved it. Loved your team being willing to travel to come make that happen. It was great.
Exactly. Sarah, what questions you have for Corrie?
So I wanted to know kind of like what made you interested in this world of photography. Like, did photography come first and then you moved into, I want to say like brand management, kind of what was your, I guess, story, kind of like what led you to where you are now?
Great question. So I went to college. I think I'm one of the very few people who can say I actually used my degree. But I went to college for fine art. So I've been a sculptor. I've been a painter. I even do some 3D art. I've always been an artist. And so when you are an artist, they try to make you capable of photographing your own portfolio, designing your own brand material so that you appear as a professional artist and not as somebody who's DIYing it. And so when I took those first design classes, required classes in college, I realized I was better at design than I was at fine art. I was even better at photography than I was at either one of the other things. And so I graduated with a double major of fine art, graphic design, and a minor in photography. And I jumped straight into internship with a wedding photographer and working at a gallery immediately post college. And so this is literally the only world I've ever been in. I've done nothing else. I've only worked in small business. I've been a photographer since the day I graduated from college. So
that's awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like I've lived I've gone from one job to the next, but like different, career switches, if you will. So that's a lot to say that you kind of stuck with it.
Yep. Even if it was in different industries, I see an opportunity and I'm able to take a job and then weasel my way into being their creative director. So that's I see the path and I take it. So
that's that entrepreneurial mindset. We like that.
Yeah. So you told us how you got to where you are now. I guess with the way we've shifted our working, right? Where are we now? Post-pandemic.
Yes.
How have you seen your industry shift, over the years? What's different now about it than before?
I think part of that for me when I started my business was really the focus for me was design, because that was all that it could be. You weren't doing things in person. And so I was able to really hone that side of my business. And then while things have kind of come circled around for me with photography, it is more planned by me. It is less large group. I do significantly less events. I think I come from weddings. Weddings are a different world. And so I have really pivoted entirely away from that. And I am social and commercial event or corporate event only. So that's been the big change for me, is it went from I managed to create a business that I didn't have to do anything in person. And I'm finally shifting back to being able to do this year. I got to do the things in person, and I'll find a happier balance between the two, less than 200 sessions probably in 2023, but still. I love in person. I'm glad things are kind of coming back around.
Good. What are you most looking forward to for this year, now that you're back in person, you get to touch and see and feel people and have that intimate conversations? What are you looking forward to this year?
Traveling for some big events. So I do shoot a fair amount of conferences and things like that, and so there are some big ones coming up that they just haven't been possible. I had a few last year, but it's going to be significantly more this year. And I love the opportunity to be around large groups of people and see what's going on in the world, travel for work, pretend it's a vacation when it's not.
Yeah, that's fun. You kind of get to meet a lot more than your usual. It's another version of networking, if you will. Yes. So it's kind of like expanding in different ways, because you never know who you're going to get to, socialize with.
Yes. I love the opportunity to work with people that just aren't in my local area. As a photographer, you do typically work, within, I don't know, an hour and a half, I guess, circle. And design side allows me to work. I can work anywhere. So I have clients outside of the country, and I think that's fantastic. May they fly me to them soon.
You're like, on my way.
I travel.
Let's put that out there in the universe. Yeah. So, with the shifts that you're talking about and with your business, what you're working on and things you're doing now, what are some things you totally felt like you've had to rewire or like change your whole mindset about how you approach business?
Yes, I loved that question when I read it. So I think everybody starts their business thinking this is what's going to work. This is what's going to be successful. These are the things that my audience they're going to love this. This is what it's going to be. And that was absolutely not the case for me. So in a really good way, but I started my business by strategically picking 4 people to give discounted websites to, in return for me being able to sell them as templates evergreen. And so I'm thinking I'm starting this passive income, and that this is going to be the way that my business is going to work. And I think I've sold like 3 templates, like ever. And really what it did is it turned into a referral network for me that built a hugely more successful business than I ever could have imagined. So I think the ability to rewire that what you think is going to be the thing. I am far better at big dollar sale than I am at 100 templates. And I had to learn that. So
Oh, I totally agree with that. We have not been successful with some templates either.
It's such a genius idea.
You think it would be,
So yeah, I agree. Like the I call it high touch, intimate type of clients that we service. They want access to not only like what you do physically, but how you think and how you solve problems. And it's been a game changer. Like you're saying, I don't know why, when you start a business, you don't think people would pay for your expertise and all of the time that you put in to get to where you are, that you can just deliver, that fast.
You think that small dollar template sale is going to be the easy sale, and it's not.
It's not. No, you're You're so right about that. But you said one thing that I wanted to touch back on. You talked about referral.
Mm-hmm.
Let's deep dive into that a little bit more, because a lot of people don't. I agree with what you're saying 100%. Like, I think relationship marketing is the best lead gen right now. Like, all these automations and yeah, all these other things that's out there is great, but unless you're out there like building relationships with people and building that, I don't know, like just in the know. Like, I'm all about like, who doesn't know me that needs to know me, or how can I connect somebody else that they don't know about me and I can get to know them. Like, that's what I'm about. So I'm assuming you are too. Like, I would see for real, like, you have to be that way in your world. Definitely.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think you hit it on the head when you said high touch. So I am all about delivering excellence. And when you truly do exceed people's expectations, they want to scream your name. And that's how I started my business. I just did an extremely good job. And I certainly made it clear to the people when I started my business that my expectation was, if I wow you, I want you to tell people. And I think people want to help you. They want to see you be successful. And when you're doing a great job, you're putting out a great product and you're giving them a great experience, they want to refer you. And they do. I'd say at least 50% of my business is referrals. So
yeah, and I think that's like another form of like customer service too, because I mean, we are talking about, obviously we all have great products that in our case, products. It is technically a product because we are a management consulting firm, but in your case, photos, branding, that kind of stuff, you could be producing the best thing out there. But if you're also not providing that customer service or that connection, if you will, then it's kind of less likely that a client will, refer you. But that's the best or the most important part about starting a business and keeping a lasting business, is creating that relationship, creating that loyalty, which is kind of, I think, the aim for a lot of businesses, is to keep those reoccurring customers kind of coming around, or reoccurring clients. I mean, in our case, we've worked with Smithfield Foods, and we've had them, I think, twice, or as clients, Jennifer, if I'm not mistaken, just because of the work that we've done in the past.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm already thinking about when we'll call you again, Corrie, for some
yeah.
Some
we got some new team members. We've got new team members since we saw you last, Corrie.
We'll drag them over to Canopy and make it happen.
Put you right here.
Oh, yeah. So besides the design, the photography, is there anything else you wanted to kind of explore in your business, but you hadn't had a chance to do that yet?
I'm working on something big. So I recently invested in a property with another business partner, and we are going to turn that into rentable studio space. So my goal is probably February. We've got a little bit of upfit to do on the building, but rentable studio space. And my long-term goal is to turn it into, it is a full styled space with the ability for you to rent equipment, everything you could need for video, audio, for podcasts, for photography. One-stop shop. You come there, it's there for you.
That's amazing. Yeah, because I also feel I was trying to scout like an area of any sorts for our team branded photo shoot, that there was just not much to choose from, or
it's an empty box, and I don't.
Yeah, it's an empty box, and we had to bring everything to it, which would have been a whole nother cost, if you will. So that's amazing.
That's next up.
Very much needed.
Yeah. And I love that idea. Like, definitely make sure you invite us to the grand opening, because we will be there.
Bells and whistles.
And it's 5 minutes from my house, so I'm loving that.
Oh, good. Good.
That's even better, more convenient.
Yes.
Good. How did you come up with that idea, or that's just something that was like itching at you and you're like, oh my God, like, we need to do this?
So I had wanted a physical space, mostly because I do believe that, like, health of relationships, I think having a separation between your home and your work is important. And I've worked at home for long enough. And I realized that like having a dedicated space and not having to location source, despite I do like variety. I will continue. I love the people who allow me to partner with their locations. And I'll continue to do that. But having somewhere, especially for like your team members, having somewhere where they could schedule 30 minutes with me for a headshot versus having to work into a location schedule, I think is just going to be valuable. But my social media manager actually brought up the rental equipment and like more full service idea. And I was like, it's genius. I have a significant amount of backup equipment like that's already there that I don't use, that just sits in storage. And I'm like, why not turn that into a revenue stream? And I know that when I was just getting started, if I could have gone somewhere that was beautiful, that I knew I was going to have the equipment that I needed, there's lighting, it's all there. Like ease of use for me is everything. I do the same thing for my photography and web design clients. I try to have a thought of what their need would be and made the process easier all along the way. And I'm going to do the same thing. Right. I'm going to do the same thing here. So
I was thinking through as you were talking, I was like, yeah, she is a little more analytical and technical because you're
definitely.
Like, I get thought this through and I have a process and we're going to do X, Y, Z. So I love it.
Is number one. So why not do it better?
I love it. Sarah, what else we got for Corrie?
Yeah, I'm always interested to hear this. I think I ask a lot of our guests this, is kind of like, what's been the most important lesson that you've learned, I guess, throughout your time of owning your own business? I know that might be hard to narrow it down, but I'm always interested just because everyone always has a different answer.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of already gone there, but people are everything. Like relationships are all of it to me. Like I had those 4 people have referred me tens of thousands of dollars worth of clients. And that's from the first month of my business. And I had people who, because I already had an existing relationship with them, they truly bought into what I was doing probably before they should have. Like I didn't have, to be honest. I mean, I have a barely website, and I'm saying that I'm a web developer. I am a web developer, but I needed, when I was furloughed, I was also in the middle of planning my wedding. I'm like, I needed to find a way to show up and to build an income immediately. And having 12 years in events that aren't happening, I needed to figure it out quickly. And so I had people who they knew me, they knew my reputation, they knew how hard I worked. They did believe in, the talent and skills that they had seen. Regardless, they chose to hire me when my business was a week old, and that made all the difference. So,
oh, that's so sweet. I want to cry. I don't know if you remember. I remember you reaching out to me. I probably still have it in my DMs. You asked me to review your website and give you some feedback way in the beginning. I was like, me? Me?
People want to help you. They do. People want to help you. So.
Oh, that's so sweet, Corrie. Oh my gosh. You should definitely write that in a testimonial somewhere or a memoir. I don't know. I'm all about people documenting their life stories because there's always something in there. Like you said, like people gave you a chance like week 1, but also it shows your tenacity and resilience. Like you're like, I had to figure this out. Like I didn't have time to play victim. Like I was getting married, I was furloughed, I got kids and a husband. Like I got to figure this out. And I love that.
Shout out to my husband. He did tell me, he's like, I will pay every bill. I want you to do this yourself. And I was like, okay, all right. So I'm also a hugely risk averse person. And so having someone willing to be like, I will take care of all of it, whatever you do.
That's nice.
No, you're not risk averse at all. Being an entrepreneur, there's no way you could be risk averse.
Nah, that's
it paid off. I figured it out. So
yeah. Like Jennifer said, that's tenacity. That's, having that, I don't know what to call it, that special sauce, if you will. It's tough. It's not easy. It's being an entrepreneur is not for everybody.
Yes.
A lot of people are like, oh, you get to make your own hours and all this kind of stuff, and you can have people working for you, and and it's like, That's not how that works.
No, I think every little success showed me how much more I was capable of, and I just kept.
That's very important to remember too, is to kind of hold on to those little tiny details or those little tiny milestones, if you will, so that, you know, when you are kind of getting up there and you are eventually, I guess, opening another kind of like leg of your business, that you do remember those things. And I'm also a firm believer in also remembering what not to do or how not to do something so that you can actually figure out the correct way to do something.
Yes.
That continuous improvement.
I don't mind learning lessons. I can.
Yes, lessons are very important.
Oh, that's awesome, Corrie. I love it. I love it. So, as we wrap up here today, I know it goes by so fast. What did you want to leave the audience with? What are some, I don't know, it could be tips, tricks. If you have any specials or anything going on, we can definitely include it in the show notes, and bring visibility to your page and to you and your brand. So did you want to leave the audience with anything?
I think show up would be number one. That's part of being a photographer, part of obviously being in identity marketing. Like, you have to show up. You have to show up as who you are. You have to be visible. And photography is one small piece of that, but showing your face, getting out there, social media also, it's very important. I had a conversation with my social media manager this morning about people saying they don't have time to do something when really you absolutely do. So show up for yourself. That's how you're going to be successful. And I am running a headshot special in January. I just got to figure out the dates and times, because since today is my first day back in the office, because like I said, I took way off for the holidays.
Can't blame you.
You deserve it.
I did deserve it, and it was amazing.
After 200
photo sessions, I was like,
photo sessions.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, awesome. Well, definitely let us know about the special, because probably by the time this airs, Sarah can include it in the show notes for everyone. And if there's anything we can share on our socials as well when you post it, just let us know, because we will or if I see it or Sarah sees it, we'll definitely share it. Because I'll speak. Everyone listen to me clearly. Corrie is phenomenal at what she does.
Yep.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'll let her work speak for her when you see it, if you haven't seen it already.
And if you want to see some of it, it is on our website. A lot of it is. The majority of it from our branded shoot. So
all right. Thank you, Corrie, so much for being with us today. We definitely appreciate you and your time. We love speaking with you about your brand and where your company is headed. Everyone, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will catch you on the next episode. See ya.
bye.
Bye.